We will get started. So, my name is Maddie. I am the host tonight. I am a JU alumni and a current admissions counselor. I graduated in May of 2021. I loved it so much they could not get me to leave. I came right back to work with all of you awesome students. I was an international business and marketing major when I was a student here. We're going to go through our presentation, and if you guys have any questions, make sure you leave them in the chat and I will be sure to answer them throughout the presentation or at the end. Happy to help with anything. And then, so we'll get started. I know that you all are not with us tonight, but let's imagine that you are. Welcome to Jacksonville. We are one of the largest cities in the continental US and home to 7 professional sports teams. So there's a whole lot for our students to get involved in off campus, whether it's the Jumbo Shrimp or the Icemen, or obviously the Jacksonville Jaguars. Whether they're interested in sports management or just sports in general, they can take advantage of a lot of that. We have 22 miles of beaches. The beaches are just about 15 minutes off campus for our students to access. They're beautiful beaches. I love to go to the beach. And then it's a great location. So last weekend I was in Charleston. Next weekend I'll be in Orlando. You can really get all over the Southeast in just a few hours, which I really love. And our students definitely love to take advantage of that as well. I'm originally from Buffalo, New York, so I took a very long trek to get down to the Sunshine State. I always say that I came for the Sunshine State and stayed for the central location because I've had a lot of fun exploring the Southeast. So this is what our campus population really looks like by the numbers. We have just over 2,500 undergraduate students, just over 1,000 graduate students, and a super diverse campus representing 61 countries and 49 states. Drop your guesses in the comments now of what you think the state that we don't have is. There's only one, and I recruit there. I'm trying really hard to get a student from that state. It's actually Wyoming. So we don't have any students from the state of Wyoming. We're working on it though, and hopefully it'll be 50 states represented very soon. But super diverse campus. And a lot of different communities for our students to interact with and kind of learn from. We have over 100 combinations of majors, minors, and programs here at JU with the ability to combine those from any college. So whether that's something from the Davis College of Business and the College of Fine Arts, or the College of Arts and Sciences and the College of Healthcare Sciences, our students can really do it all here at JU to find a degree program that really works for their intended career goals. We actually built an application called the PODS app, where our students are able to play with and design a major of their choice based on combining different majors and minors. They'll see exactly what classes they'll have to take for that major and what kinds of careers they could get with that combination of majors as well. We have 5 colleges, 4 schools, and 2 institutes here at JU, with the newest college being that College of Law that just opened about 2 years ago. So we're super excited about that. But all of our schools, colleges, and institutes are really great. The important numbers on this screen, in my opinion, are the ones down at the bottom. We have a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio and a maximum class size of right around 25 students. So by the end of your 4 years here at JU, you've probably made some pretty awesome professor relationships, but you've probably also met most of the students in your major as well. That was always really comforting to me when I was a student here at JU. We have over 100 student organizations on campus. Some of the most popular are listed up there on the screen, but we also have 10 Greek organizations, 60 fine art performances a year that are always free to our students, and 20 intramural sports that are on a rotating basis. So outside of the classroom, a lot for students to get involved in and do right here on campus. We are a Division I school, so we have 17 Division I athletic teams. We have 2 varsity sports, I was on the JU sailing team, as I mentioned earlier, which is one of those varsity sports. So I always throw in a little shameless plug. But our Division I sports draw really great crowds and are really great to go out and watch or get involved in some way. So how to become a FIN, our application process, and a little bit more about what that looks like. Here at JU, we are rolling admissions, which means once you apply, you can typically expect to receive a decision in about 3 to 4 weeks, and we don't have any hard deadlines. Our application is open now, and I encourage you to apply. If you're not yet a senior, our application will open on August 1st, and then you can submit your application. We just started releasing decisions a few weeks ago, but we're really excited to be getting decisions out to students. Those numbers you see on the screen there, those are our middle numbers. So a 3.7 is our middle GPA, and we're totally test optional. So ACT, SAT isn't required for any of our programs. It is recommended for things like honors and scholars, but definitely not required. We are on the Common App, so you can apply through the Common App or through our native application on our website. Here's where we get to those big scary numbers, our cost of attendance. Our cost of attendance is right around $63,000, but not a single student on our campus pays that. All of our students receive a merit scholarship, somewhere between $14,000 and $36,000. Other institutional scholarships you may be qualified for are things like fine arts, athletics, honors and scholars, and just for coming to visit campus, you'll be awarded a $1,000 scholarship for your first year. As long as you file the FAFSA each additional year, you'll continue to receive that $1,000 scholarship, but that's a really great incentive to find a reason to come down and visit campus. That's for visiting campus or for attending any of our open houses or future FIN Day events. Now, any need-based aid is going to be determined through the FAFSA. The FAFSA is going to open sometime in December. At this point, we're not sure when, but we encourage you to file it as soon as it opens. That will give us the best opportunity to give you a financial aid package quicker. Sorry about that. That's going to be any federal, work study, or institutional aid will all be determined by the FAFSA. Additional types of aid include things like if you're from the state of Florida, the EASE grant, which is a $3,500 grant for Florida students attending a Florida private school. We also accept Florida Bright Futures and Florida Prepaid, just in a slightly different way than they do at public institutions. We do accept all outside scholarships and all federal and private loans, and my biggest advice is to go home tonight, maybe not tonight, it's a little bit late, maybe tomorrow, and write one essay. It doesn't have to be super long, maybe a page or a page and a half long, and have it answer one of those general questions. What do you hope to do when you grow up? Or what volunteer experience have you had and how did it make an impact on you? And then submit that one essay to like 50 outside scholarship applications. There is so much money out there waiting for students to take advantage of. You just have to put in that extra legwork. So that's my best advice, to put in that extra work without having to go too much out of your way. If you have any questions about any of this, we're happy to talk with you about it. We're very transparent and willing to talk about costs and financial aid and any of that. So just reach out to your admissions counselor and we're happy to go through this with you. Our median starting salary for the class of 2021 was $65,000, and those companies you see around the screen were the companies that class of 2021 was hired into. So obviously we have some Jacksonville staples like the Jacksonville Jaguars, but we also have a lot of global staples like Google, Walt Disney World, and the Mayo Clinic, which is located right here in Jax. Experiential learning is something that's super important here at JU. It's that learning by doing. So before you graduate, you have to complete 2 of the 4 items listed on the screen. Our students are given the opportunity to complete all of this throughout their coursework. In fact, I completed all 4 items before graduation without really having to go out of my way for any of them. Obviously, I had to go a little bit out of my way for study abroad, but they were all really incorporated into my course curriculum already. And all of these items are also crafted in a way where students can do them at any time, whether that's in the fall or the spring, or over the summer or the winter term, to ensure that they still have the same experiences, whether they're an athlete or they have a job on campus, whatever the case may be. We really try to craft it in a way where all students can take advantage of all of these items. So we do have some pictures of what our dorm rooms look like in here. This is what a traditional freshman dorm room looks like. And down here in the bottom right-hand corner is what the traditional shared bathrooms look like. So all of the brown furniture is included in the room. That includes two beds, 2 desks, and 2 dressers. And students are able to move furniture and kind of rearrange the room as they see fit. So I encourage you to come to campus for a campus tour. I'm going to stop sharing and see if there's any questions, and then we can pop on over to the virtual tour that we have on our website. So if you are referring to the undergraduate nursing program, it is also rolling admissions. That program will have a cap on it, but that cap typically is not reached until May or June, and that's pertaining to the deposit. Yes, aviation students will fly as soon as they get to campus. So that is typically first year, first semester, they are flying as a part of their curriculum. Yeah, that happens right away. Any other questions? Oh. Okay, I'm assuming this question meant to say international students. International students are qualified for our merit-based scholarships that are between $14,000 and $36,000. Outside of that, they would have to look for outside scholarships. Does JU accept self-transcripts? I'm not sure I understand this question. We do accept unofficial transcripts, and those are accepted, but I'm not sure I understand what a self-transcript is. If you'd like to explain more, I'm happy to answer. So there's no cap on the aviation program. Typically, the way that that works is L3 Harris, our partner school that the aviation students do aviation flying through. Typically, they'll fly in more planes as we get more students. We haven't reached it to a point where we've had to put a cap on that program yet. So the GI Bill, we are a yellow ribbon school, so we do accept the GI Bill. I believe that will just be subtracted from what is needed from the GI Bill. But I encourage you to connect with Mike Mitchell. He is our student veteran affairs liaison person, and he's a great resource. If you'd like to send me an email, I will leave my email in the chat, and you can send me an email and I can connect you directly with Mike Mitchell. So there's no cap to that aviation program. As I mentioned earlier, they'll just fly in planes as they are needed. Typically, there is about 60 students per cohort in that class. So the aviation flight fees comprise, typically a typical student will pay $75,000 for all 4 years in just flight fees alone. And Typically, from what I understand, there isn't unused funds that would roll over. That doesn't typically happen. Students will sometimes have to add additional funds to their account for things like gas and extra lessons, but there's not typically funds left over. Wow, we have a lot of hopeful pilots in the group, which I love to see. There's no deadline to apply for the aviation program. I encourage your students to apply now as the application is open, and applying now will really give them the best timeline for success. The choir. So that is an audition process to join any of our music choirs. If you send me an email, I can connect you directly with the directors of that program. We do accept work study on campus. We offer work study and financial aid through the FAFSA. If you do not qualify for work study, totally okay. You can still get a job on campus. It will just be through university pay, but there's really no difference. Students will work their hours and then they'll get a paycheck every 2 weeks, just like working any normal job would be. You just get a paycheck at the end of your time. So another person asked about those flight fees. Again, it's about $75,000 for all 4 years, or about $18,000 per year. We do accept dual enrollment credits. If you go on our website, you can look up what it is for AP credits, ACE credits, and IB credits, exactly how they'll transfer in. But we're also happy to do a transfer credit evaluation. That transfer credit evaluation will evaluate if those classes have ever come into JU before. And if they have, we can show you exactly what they'll be, what they'll transfer in as. And if they haven't, you'll just have to wait until you're physically on campus and can make that connection with the registrar's office. So there's no bus to the airport. Students are allowed to have their car on campus freshman year. It is totally free to have your car on campus. There is no fees associated with that. But a lot of students don't have their car on campus, and that's totally okay too. You can always Uber to the airport or get a ride from a friend or something like that. Somebody asked if I could discuss the nursing deposit. So if you're accepted into the freshman direct entry nursing program, that does have a cap of about 50 students. And so only the first 50 students that have been accepted into that program have saved their seat into the program. So it's a $500 deposit, and that's if you're ready to commit to JU. That deposit is fully refundable before May 1st, but I encourage you to reach out to your admissions counselor before making that deposit. I'm not sure exactly how many students are in the NROTC program. I know we do have one of the larger programs in the country. But if you send me an email, I can definitely get that answer to you more nailed down. The transfer deposit is also $500. I'm not sure if you're talking about the BSN program. And if you are, you'd have to reach out to Seamus Houlihan. I can definitely make that connection for you if you send me an email. All right, I think I am through all of your questions. Please leave any other questions that you have in that Q&A or the chat box, and I'll be happy to answer those. I hope I've been helpful so far. So this is what our virtual tour looks like. It is in this link right here that I will drop in the chat for all of you. And this is how you can take a tour of Jacksonville University. So when you get to this landing page, we might not go through the whole thing tonight, but I definitely just want to show you guys around and show you how it works. So we're going to go to take a personalized tour. We're going to do a 30-minute tour. I'm interested in student life and academics. And I am interested in business because that's what I studied. Freshman housing and fitness and wellness. All right, so this is the Davis College of Business. This is actually where I spent most of my time on campus. But I had a really great time. You can see all of campus here. This is our little campus map. And then those are the various places that it's going to have us stop. So this is a little bit about the Davis College of Business, all of the various majors that we have on campus. There's a few different fun videos that you can watch about the Davis College of Business. But this is what it looks like. It's really pretty. Now this is our Nelm Science Green. So we have all of these different couches, all set up nearby outlets, so you can plug in your computer and you can do some homework. Actually, there's normally more couches out here. This picture doesn't really show it, but there's normally a lot going on around this area. This is the Gooding building. So this is where a lot of the social sciences classes are. So psychology, philosophy, English, a lot of those classes are taught inside this building, and it's actually right next to my office and where you'll come for your tour. This is the Davis Student Commons. The Davis Student Commons is where our gym is located. It's actually, funnily enough, where our Chick-fil-A is located. But there is our campus ministries are also located in there. And then our Pods Market. Our Pods Market is like a little convenience store where you can get anything from dried fruit and candy to power bowls and sushi and things like that. And then lastly is Botts Hall. So Botts Hall is one of our freshman dorms on campus. It's one of 2 freshman dorms that our students will live in. But if you see here, these are all study spaces for students to take advantage of and use. And it's one of the 2 freshman housing options. So I encourage you all to take one of those tours yourself, or come to campus and take a tour with us, and our student ambassadors will be happy to show you around, and I'd be happy to see you on campus. So does anybody have any other questions? Well, it was so great having you all here tonight. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you all did as well. Please feel free to send me an email. I am dropping my email in the chat once more. And I'm happy to connect with any of you on next steps or what campus is like or anything like that. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, I see one question. The aviation program does offer info sessions. Those are offered most days a week. But if you don't see one offered on the same day you're hoping to take a tour, you can definitely shoot me an email and I can see if I can set something up for you. All right, everybody, this was so great. Thank you all for attending, and we'll see you on campus soon.